Hey everybody, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm going to be talking about Coinbase's big announcement that they will be releasing an index fund coming very soon. I'm going to tell you some of the details about the index fund, some things you might need to know about it, and then along with that, why I think it's a pretty big deal and overall bullish for cryptocurrency. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Those of you that don't know, the COO of Coinbase, Asiff, was on CNBC to announce this. A lot of the Ripple community thought that he was going to announce that Coinbase is going to add Ripple onto the platform, especially since CNBC was announcing that they were going to have the Ripple founder along with Coinbase COO at the same time. And so they thought they were both going to announce it. They actually had separate interviews. So you saw Ripple pump a lot, and then as soon as Coinbase actually put on their Twitter that they have no plans of adding any more coins to clear the waters, then Ripple kind of dumped a little actually above the pump before it pumped. But anyways, that's beside the point. So the CEO goes on CNBC to announce that Coinbase is going to add an index fund. Those of you that don't know what an index fund is, it's a great way to kind of diversify your portfolio, to put your money into kind of a basket of different stocks. In this case, it's going to be cryptocurrency. And those cryptocurrencies are going to be all the cryptocurrencies that are currently on Coinbase. And if Coinbase adds any coins, then it will be added to this coin index fund. And I'll kind of tell you how that's going to work in a little bit later. So in the interview, he kind of talks about this. One thing that I want to point out in the interview I thought was kind of interesting. He did kind of talk about how that they don't want to add a coin that can be manipulated. So kind of addressing the whole Ripple thing of how it kind of pumped before he came onto the show, people thinking that Ripple would be on it. Another thing I thought was interesting is one of the CNBC anchors asked him that, hey, isn't Coinbase kind of picking winners because whatever is on Coinbase will be into this index fund? I think he kind of sidestepped the question, and he didn't really address the question completely. He just said that Coinbase, before they add a coin, they do a lot of due diligence, and basically that's about it. But I feel like he kind of sidestepped the question. That's beside the point. Let's go ahead and get back into it. How this index fund is going to, and I'm going to link this video in the description if you want to watch it. It's a good video. So what they're going to do is they're releasing an index fund to accredited investors. You need to know that because every Joe Schmo is not going to be able to invest into this index fund. You have to be an accredited investor. He did say in the interview he wants to open it up to everybody, but as of right now, you have to be an accredited investor. What is an accredited investor? You have to make over $200,000 a year for the past 2 years, or you have to have a net worth over $1 million. If you're married, you can have a joint income of $300,000 or more in the past 2 years, but you have to have one of those qualifications to be an accredited investor. And that's to kind of protect the average American person from maybe losing more money than they have. If you're a accredited investor, you have, I guess they see it in the eyes of you have that money to lose. And that's a pretty typical thing in IPOs or startups or something like that, that most of them you have to be an accredited investor to invest, and that's there to protect the average American person. Another thing I want to add on that is an index fund is not an ETF. You have to know that. There's been a lot of ETFs that have been trying to get passed with Bitcoin. A lot of you know the Winklevoss twins are trying to add this ETF. They've been trying for, I feel like 3 or 4 years, probably longer than that. But there's actually a lot of ETFs in the process, and some of these have been declined, and then some of them are just still in the process. ETFs it's a different thing. ETF would be on a regulated exchange where index is not. And so ETFs are not here with Coinbase right now, but this will be the first index. So this is kind of a big deal. Being a basket of cryptocurrencies, it's only going to be the ones on Coinbase. And we'll kind of talk about how that price or how Coinbase figures in the price of the index here in a second. But Coinbase will charge a 2% fee a year. That I feel like that is kind of high for an index fund, but you know, a lot of people might see that as, okay, this is an easy way to invest in a whole bunch of, you know, different cryptocurrencies where I don't have to deal with it. I think this is going to be actually pretty big. Another thing is you can invest in the index and you can pull it out at any time. They said you don't have, there's not like a year-long vesting period. There's not a whole lot more details about the 2%. I don't know if you pull it out less than a year of how that works, or if it's, you know, averaged out. I'm not real sure. They haven't released a lot of the details about that. Coinbase will be starting a new legal entity that will be called the Coinbase Asset Management, and that's going to be handling the index. There will be a representative from Coinbase on there, and then 2 representatives that's not affiliated with Coinbase on the Coinbase Asset Management Company. So the other 2, they can't be invested in Coinbase, and they just can't have any affiliation, and that's going to be what's handling the index. They will meet quarterly unless there's something urgent that comes up, and the minutes will be published so you know kind of who's there and what they're talking about and everything like that. Along with that is only US residents will be able to invest right now. So he does want to change that. Coinbase does want to change that where it's open to everybody, not just accredited investors and not just US residents. So once they'll probably test the waters with that and everything clears up and everything's good, they're going to open it to other countries, and not just accredited investors will be able to invest into this. Now, here's the website. They actually already have the website called Coinbase Asset Management. I'll put a link to this as well. Here is the price of the current index right now. I'll tell you how they get to the price here in a second. And what it is it's a weighted average of these 4 coins. And so what you could do is you could add up the market cap of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, and see of what ratio they are to each other. And these ratios are here. Bitcoin is 62%, Ethereum is 27%, Bitcoin Cash 7%, and Litecoin is 4%. So it is weighted average of the market capitalization of these coins. How they figure the Coinbase index is another thing. There's a paper, a PDF that you can download that has more details about it. I read the whole thing. So basically how they get that index price is going to be the market capitalization divided by the divisor. What is a divisor? A divisor can be really any number, but in what this index fund, how they're figuring the divisor is the price that it was listed on GDAX for, when the market cap when that coin was listed, or 5 days later. And so with Bitcoin's case, they're putting the divisor date as January 1st of 2015 with the GDAX market cap of $4.3 billion. That would be the divisor of Bitcoin. So to get the index price, you would have the market capitalization of Bitcoin, whatever that is, divided by that number, the divisor. That divisor number is not going to change. It always stay the same as far as Bitcoin cents. Now, when you add other coins, and you can see the formula of how they do it, it's fairly simple. And when they add other coins, I'll link this PDF as well if you want to download it. So as they add other coins, which they have Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, they're just going to take the ratio adjustment and then add that to the divisor. So when they added Ethereum, it went from 4.3 billion to about 5 billion. Then they added Litecoin, added a little bit to the divisor, and then Bitcoin Cash, it's at 5.9 billion. So right now the divisor is 5.9 billion. And if they add any more coins 5 days after they add it, whatever the market capitalization of that coin, they will add that ratio to the divisor to change the divisor. So right now the divisor won't change, but if they add or remove coins, that divisor will change. And that's how they get the index. So they're going to add all 4 of the market capitalizations of those 4 coins divided by that divisor. Has a lot of other details. I encourage you to take a look at it. And so as the market cap increases of these coins, the Coinbase index is going to increase. This is how they're getting this number, in case you're wondering, and you can look at the paper for more details. Now, here's why I think this is a bigger deal than a lot of people think. Now, this will allow big money to possibly flow into cryptocurrency. I think there's a lot of big money to flow into it, but a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. And then there's also limits. There's limits on how much you can spend on Coinbase per day and everything like that. Oh, along with this, I didn't mention that there is a minimum of a $10,000 investment if you want to be involved with the index. So there is limits on how much you can really pump into this. And I don't know if there's going to be a max on this or if people can just, unload, $50 million into this index. But this just allows another gateway to get a lot of cryptocurrency and a gateway from some big money. A lot of people just don't want to deal with this. They don't want to buy a whole bunch of different things. Indexes and ETFs are very popular. Along with introducing possibly big money into cryptocurrency, which I don't think it's going to be like a whole lot of people are going to get into index, but people that have a lot of money are familiar with indexes and ETFs, but it's just another way to get cryptocurrency, which is good. That's not really why I'm so bullish. I think that's all fine and dandy, but why I'm bullish is this will be, I think, just a gateway to more indexes and more, hopefully it will allow ETFs after that. It's just kind of a gateway on this. And that's where we get into, I think, really bullish territory is when we start having ETFs. If the Winklevoss ETF gets passed, and then we can actually invest our 401ks into cryptocurrency, and that's really where we can get some big money. There's 3 reasons why I think this is bullish, and this is not like huge bullish, but yes, this is, I think, bullish. Number 1 is it allows people with a lot of money, accredited investors, to get into cryptocurrency very easily. People that are accredited investors and have money and a lot of money, they're used to indexes, they're used to ETFs, and this just allows them to get into cryptocurrency and hopefully pour more money into it. Along with that is, I don't think they're going to be like day trading. They're not going to get into an index and then take it out, get into an index and take it out. The fees will probably be really high. So this is a way to have money go into crypto and then hopefully stay in there for a longer term than what some people do with crypto. Number 2 is I think it opens kind of a gateway to other things, and hopefully we can get some of these ETFs passed, because there is a lot of ETFs that are on hold or a couple have been declined, and hopefully we can get some of these ETFs passed. If we can get that, then we can possibly, invest our 401ks into it, and that would be a whole nother load of money into cryptocurrency. So the more institutional and regulations that we can get through and then establish these things, I think is overall very bullish. And number 3 is it expands on Coinbase's services. A lot of people like or dislike Coinbase, but the more services it can offer and the easier it can get people into crypto, then that's a good thing. One thing I didn't mention is the coins will be held. Anything with the index fund, anybody that invests in the index fund, the coins will be held by the Coinbase Asset Management. I just wanted to throw that out there. I want to hear what you think. I always try and get back to comments, so let me know in a comment. Do you think this is a bigger deal than I'm making it out to be? Do you think it's really not that big of a deal? Do you think this will open it up to ETFs? Do you like Coinbase? A lot of people dislike Coinbase. I appreciate if you like, and you, again, comment. I always try and get back to comments, and especially if you subscribe. I do videos like this. I do videos over specific coins, white papers, and I'll continue to do that. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch it.